Hey everybody, Nick here from another BookTube channel, and today my quarterly book haul. This is an idea I've been toying with. I don't usually buy books in bulk, so doing book haul videos don't make a lot of sense for me, but I do like to do them. I think they are fun, and people seem to like them. So what this is going to be the first installment of is every 3 months I will just show you all of the books that I bought in that 3-month span. So this will be everything from January to March 2023. It's going to only be prose books, because if I included comics and graphic novels, I mean, we would just be here for an eternity. So it's just going to be the prose books I got. So with that, let's go to the table and I'll show you what I got. Alright, so let's get started. These are in no particular order. I don't remember in what order I bought them, so we'll just move through this big stack as quickly as we can. First is God, Emperor of Dune. This is the 4th Dune book. I like this edition. I like this cover of the big worm man. Kind of gross, kind of silly, kind of love it. Not sure when I'm going to get a chance to read this, because I didn't really enjoy Children of Dune, so don't really feel the urgency there. Found this at a secondhand shop, The Twits by Roald Dahl. I bought it purely for the nostalgia. I used to read this edition of this book like to death as a kid. I was obsessed with it. I loved The Twits. So for like a couple bucks, I figured why not. Plus with the censored editions that have come out in England, this might be worth $1 million one day. It's not really going to be worth $1 million. Don't be ridiculous. Next up, kind of a silly one. This is another thrift shop find. Just magic with everyday objects. I like to do a sleight of hand magic trick once in a while. I'm not very good, but based on some of the tricks that I've read through in here, being good has absolutely nothing to do with magic, particularly for that guy. Next up is Book 3 in the Expanse, Abaddon's Gate. Another one I found secondhand, so I was able to get it for a little bit cheaper than the full price, and it's in great shape too, so it's practically new. Really looking forward to getting a chance to read this one. I might actually try to aim for that this month. We'll see. This one just got in the mail today, something a little bit different. Devil's Advocates, Possession by Allison Taylor. Devil's Advocates is a series of non-fiction like essays about famous horror movies, and I recently saw Possession for the first time. It was a wild movie, really interesting, and I highly recommend it. And it was one of those movies where I saw it and was like, I would love to read an essay about this. And then I found out this book existed, and I got it off eBay. I will be reading this soon. I don't know if there'll be a review of it up on the channel, but either way, follow me on Instagram at AnotherBooktuber, and I'll let you know what I think of it when I read it. All right, another really cool secondhand thrift shop find. The Fantastic Four in Doomsday, a novel by Marv Wolfman. I didn't know that this existed. I didn't know that Marvel did prose books in the 1970s. I guess they were trying to capitalize on the paperback market. I love the Fantastic Four, so I saw this. I had to have it. I'm going to be reading this one in August for when Criminale does his Garb August book tag. So stick around on the channel if you want to ever see a review of that. Another one, Ray Bradbury's Autumn People. This is a really interesting book because by appearances, it is a regular Ray Bradbury paperback. It's got a great Frank Frazetta cover. What's on the inside? It's actually not a novel. It is reprints of the EC Comics stories that were adapted from Ray Bradbury's work. So really interesting early experiment into kind of graphic novel collections by Ballantine Books and EC. Can't say that it was a success. It's really weird having to read a comic book like this, but really interesting to see, you know, a collection of comics from the 50s. Was it the 50s? May have been the 60s. May have been the 70s. I don't know. I'll check it. I'll put it up on the screen here. Next up, another thrift find. Robert Heinlein's Have Spacesuit, Will Travel. Robert Heinlein is a weird author because I enjoy a handful of his books, and then some of his books are absolutely terrible. And I wouldn't really say he's even my favorite, but when I see one of his books at a thrift shop, I just feel compelled to buy it. I don't know if it's being drawn to the covers or just, I mean, I don't know. I don't really have an explanation for it, but yeah, this one, I just felt like, you know what? I have a good feeling about this one. I do want to read it. Don't know when I'm going to get to it. Hopefully it's not one of his absolutely terrible ones. Another secondhand find, Kurt Vonnegut, A Man Without a Country. This book, the Fantastic Four one, the Heinlein one, and Abaddon's Gate, these were all purchased from the same secondhand bookstore in Washington, D.C. I believe it's called just Secondhand Books. I'll double check, I'll fact check that, and I'll correct myself if I was wrong. But they had a lot of really good stuff. I was there for a weekend for a work trip, and I kept going back and buying new stuff. This was my last pickup there. I went back, you know, the final day. I had to have it because I love Kurt Vonnegut, and I had never read this one before. I don't think it's in print anymore because I tried Googling it, and I didn't see any new covers for it. I only saw this edition. But I read this literally in 2 hours. It's a nonfiction essay collection by Vonnegut. It is hysterical. It's basically just him absolutely hating George W. Bush and fossil fuels, and him just ranting about those things. So I'm on board for that. I love that. Vonnegut seems like a pretty chill guy. Next up, I'll show these all at once. 3 Edgar Rice Burroughs paperbacks with Frank Frazetta covers. I got these from a secondhand bookstore in Manhattan, around the corner from the Strand, called Alabaster Bookshop. It's a really cool, small bookshop. If you're ever in Manhattan and you're at the Strand, go around the corner, check it out. I bought these just for the Frazetta covers. I might read them one day. I'm not entirely sure. They're part of a series, or they're part of multiple series, and I don't know if they're able to be read like out of order or whatever. I'll look into it, but yeah. This was actually another one from that Washington, D.C. shop. This is the original Vertigo. The Hitchcock movie was adapted from this. It was originally called, as it says here, The Living and the Dead. But this was the reprint where they renamed it Vertigo because of the movie. I just thought this was really neat. As a big movie, guy, I thought this would be a cool thing to have. It's not in the best of shape, so I'm a little nervous to read it, but we'll see. And, oh god, another one from that Washington shop. And this was obviously part of that same series as the Fantastic Four book, Captain America, Holocaust for Hire by Joseph Silva. I like Red Skull as just the aesthetic of the character from the comics. And I love Captain America as well. So I bought this one along with the Fantastic Four one. I just thought, as a comic collector, these were just too cool to pass up. There was an Avengers book there that I didn't buy. It was a little bit higher priced, and I just didn't have room for it in the suitcase. This one, picked it up used, Full Moon by Jim Butcher, the second book in the Dresden Files. I'll probably get to this soon. I imagine it'll be a really good palate cleanser between better books. I didn't love the first Dresden Files book. Don't Fear the Reaper by Stephen Graham Jones, signed actually by Stephen Graham Jones, right there. Got this, whoopsies. I went to an event at the Strand Bookstore in New York City with a conversation with Stephen Graham Jones and Paul Tremblay. There's a video up on the channel if you're interested about that, where I chronicle the night. Haven't gotten a chance to read it yet. I read My Heart is a Chainsaw. There's a review on the channel. Didn't love it. Hopefully this one is better and more to my liking. Next up, Tress of the Emerald Sea might make some people a little jealous here because Team Dragonsteel is still shipping out the fulfillment orders for this book from the Kickstarter, and we are into April now, just about. And I got mine pretty quickly. I was very fortunate. I think it's a fantastic book, and this edition, I'm telling you, if you are still awaiting your copy, it is worth the wait. It is absolutely gorgeous, and the book is fantastic. So there's a review of this up on the channel as well as my most popular video of all time, the unboxing of that book. You could check that out if you are interested. All right, this one, this was a flea market pickup. The next few are flea market pickups from Alabama. I went to visit a friend down there, and we went to the Montgomery Flea Market. You may remember that from the viral music video commercial from many years ago on the internet. But yeah, this was bought from there. The Once and Future King by T.H. White. I DNF'd this book many years ago. I don't think I was ready for it. I wasn't really reading fantasy at that point, so I want to give it another shot. And I really liked this cover of just the extreme yellows and the purple. Really upset about this tape pull here. You'll see this was another book I picked up there, Treasure Island. The flea market stall had a sticker with the price and code on the book, and when I peeled it off, it just ripped the cover with it. So I wish they had used better stickers that were easier to peel off. And yeah, just Treasure Island. I've always wanted to read this, and I never got around to it. So finding it, cheap at a flea market, why not? This was from that same flea market, Heart of Darkness and The End of the Tether by Joseph Conrad. I've never read Heart of Darkness, but I know that it's what Apocalypse Now is based on, so I wanted to finally read it. I really liked this cover. There were a handful of editions of this book at the flea market. I got this one for the cover. I didn't even realize that it's like the large print edition, which, you know what? I'm in my 30s now. I don't mind a large print book. I could probably do with more of them. And we're going to wrap up here with a couple more books. These I bought from the Books A Million down in Alabama. We don't have Books A Million in the North. This book, I mean, I could have gotten this one just at Barnes & Noble, but my Barnes & Noble near me doesn't have this. I've checked for it. Eyes of the Dragon by Stephen King. It's a really nice cover. I like the new editions of Stephen King books that have been coming out. I really like the new designs. And I read this book a long time ago, don't really remember it, so looking forward to revisiting it. Yeah, the 35th anniversary edition. I really don't remember if I liked it or not, so we'll see. This right here, this was a special bargain book. This was in the bargain section of Books A Million. This is an H.G. Wells collection. It's 4 of his books. You can see which one's here, and I love this cover. I actually found out after I bought this, I posted this on my Instagram, @AnotherBooktuber, and somebody commented that this is just, this is the same design, this is the same cover as Robert Heinlein's Have Spacesuit Will Travel, the first edition of it, which I did not know about. But yeah, I mean, I looked it up, it certainly is, but this is kind of a blacklight color edition, and I love this. I think this would make a great blacklight poster. I just love the orange on blue, love the design, I think it looks really great. And finally, another Books A Million special edition, Dune by Frank Herbert. I have a Dune special edition already, but this one, I had to have it as soon as I saw it. I really, really like it. It's a nice hardcover. Books A Million has some really cool special editions, man. I really wish we had them up north. But yeah, this is what I will call my final purchase of Q1 2023. All right, so that's it. I hope you found that interesting. Let me know if you saw anything that caught your eye, any kind of special editions or the thrift books that you found particularly cool, or if you recommend any books to kind of go along with what you saw here, maybe some in a similar series, or just your own favorite editions of some of the books that you saw here. Let me know in the comments. Thank you for spending some time with me today, but now it's time to get back to reading.